Hello everyone, my name is Kunal and I recently graduated from Human Computer Interaction program at Georgia Tech. Now many students have reached out to me on LinkedIn with questions regarding the admissions, different requirements for the application process and my experience at Georgia Tech. And so I thought making a short video series would help to answer some of the common questions that I often receive from prospective students regarding the admission process. Um, so in this first part, I'm going to be talking about how to prepare your application for masters, just some general tips. In the second part, I'll specifically talk about admission process for human-computer interaction program. And in third part, I'll go into details about my experience at Georgia Tech. Cool. So with this, let us get started. So the very first thing you should do for your application process is to give GRE and TOEFL. Nope. So this is one of the common mistakes that I have seen people do is that they decide to get a master's because of social or peer pressure around them. And they often do not take time to think about why they want to get a master's in a particular area because just think about it. Getting a master's abroad requires not just your time but also your money and a lot of it. And so my suggestion would be to actually take some time to figure out what are your areas of interest and what is it that you enjoy doing. It doesn't necessarily have to be something that you have a bachelor's degree in. So, for example, I had a bachelor's in electronics and communication engineering, but I knew that that's not something I want to pursue further. And so I actually took a bit of time while working in the industry to figure out what kind of work I enjoy doing. And eventually I discovered UX design. And I worked as a UX designer for around 2 years before I decided to get a master's in it. So this is an important step that will also help you in your application process, which I'll be talking about in a bit. Cool. So once you figure out what is your area of interest, the next thing is usually to start preparing your application. And the first step is to shortlist universities that offer the course you are interested in. And I would suggest dividing them into three different categories. The first category is of universities um, which are sort of top in their field. So these are universities that you would ideally want to get into, but they might have very low acceptance rate, and so getting into them might be very competitive. So put all such universities as category one. Second category are the universities which might not be at the top, but are still reputed across the world for that particular course, and you have a higher chance of getting into them. And so put all such universities in category two. And for third category, list out all the universities that you have a short chance of getting into. For human computer interaction, there are many schools that offer amazing courses in HCI. There is Stanford D School, Georgia Tech, University of Washington, University of Michigan, and many more. And I'll link them all in the description below. So second step in this process is to prepare for your GRE and TOEFL exams. And honestly, if you score above 310 in your GRE and 105 in your TOEFL, you're good. Third step, and the most important step, is to write your statement of purpose. Now, this is the most critical piece of document that will determine whether or not you get into a school. And now you would want to modify it for all schools that you are applying to. But basically, in statement of purpose, the admissions committee is looking for four things. The first one is, why do you want to get a master's in that particular area? Is it because that would help you to grow in your career? Is it because you want to research in it? Is that somehow supports in achieving your goals? And so these are few of the things that you would want to think about. The second thing that the admissions committee is looking for is, why are you interested in getting a master's in that particular domain? Now, this is where your prior research and your prior thinking about discovering your area of interest would come in handy. So third thing that they're trying to see is what work you have done in that particular area to pursue your interest. So it could be an internship or a project or industry experience or research work or something as simple as making hobby projects. Fourth is, why are you interested in a master's from that particular university? And this could be because you want to work with a professor there, or are interested in taking certain courses which are only offered there. And I'll have more to add to this in my next video when I specifically talk about human computer interaction. So many people have asked me if they should hire an external agency to draft their SOP, and I strongly advise against it, because these agencies often use preset templates to draft an SOP for thousands of others. And admissions committee can easily spot them out. And you are the best judge of your own experiences and your own story. And so to really stand out, I would suggest to write it yourself, and take feedback from other students and other people who have already pursued or are pursuing the masters in your area of interest. So I took feedback from various people for my SOP as well, and it really helped me to iterate and improve it over time. So fourth step is pretty easy. It's typically your resume. Many universities ask for it, many don't. And so highlight the relevant work experience and your achievements in them. Fifth step is your portfolio, and this is more relevant for human computer interaction field. And I'll talk about this more in my next video about the application process at Georgia Tech for Georgia Tech HCI program. So please, if you have any questions that you would want me to address, feel free to drop them in the comments below. And if you found this video useful and would want me to make more such videos, please give it a like. So have a great rest of your day, and see you soon.